to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. God, we love you, we honor you. We give you glory. We thank you today, God, that you are our supreme protector. We thank you for imbuing these men and women of the Cobb County Sheriff's Office with a desire to serve and protect their community, our community, and the citizens of Cobb County. We thank you today for our leadership, our leader, the executive command staff, and all officers who make up our department. We especially give you glory and thank you for these officers who have earned the right by their service, their leadership, their diligence, and their commitment to the cause of serving and protecting to be promoted today. We pray that you will continue to bless, strengthen, and encourage them in their effort to serve our community. Bless their families and all families. We give you glory. Amen.
Please take your seats. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we will begin our promotional ceremony. It is my honor and privilege to introduce and have join me on stage Sheriff Craig B. Owens Sr., Chief Deputy Rhonda W. Anderson, and Assistant Chief Gina B. Hawkins, and Chief of Staff David Jones. We are here to celebrate the accomplishments of 3 leaders that have been selected for promotion. These leaders exemplify what it means to be a servant leader. They have been entrusted with the honor and responsibility to lead, mentor, and train deputies under their charge. Now, we will begin our pinning ceremony. Being promoted to the rank of sergeant, we have Louis Cipra, who is being pinned by his wife, Karen Cipra. Saeed Mustafa, being pinned by his wife, Noor Mustafa.
Post order.
Attention to orders. Effective March 14, 2024, the following individuals have been promoted to the rank of sergeant. Louis Cipra. Saeed Mustafa. Being promoted to the rank of major, we have Jacob Cobb, who is being pinned by his wife, Michelle.
Folks, your order.
Attention to orders. Effective March 14, 2024, the following individual has been promoted to the rank of major: Jacob Cobb.
Give a round of applause.
Now we'll have a few words from our Chief Deputy, Rhonda Anderson.
Good evening. I want to thank you all for coming out for attending this promotion pinning. I said congratulations to Sergeant Sipper, Sergeant Mustafa, and Major Cobb on your accomplishment. Again, congratulations, and thank you all for attending this very special occasion.
Thank you all for taking time out of your evening to witness this ceremony. We will take a short intermission before starting our community briefing. Please stay and join us as we discuss all of the exciting updates that have occurred with the Cobb County Sheriff's Office since our last meeting, as well as a Cobb Campus Connection panel featuring Kennesaw State University students. Thank you. We'll be starting up at 6 p.m. sharp.
zoom in though while you streaming, can you?
Spanish, Philippine, Tagalog, sorry, Italian. Just that. My mom from El Salvador, my father from Philippines. Spanish, English, Italian, and Tagalog. From Philippines, from my father. Manila, Philippines. It's the first time.
Good evening, everyone. We'll begin the community briefing in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Cobb County, like the chairwoman or your commissioner.
We need more Latinos.
Commissioner, I'll send you information.
We need more Latinos involved in the community.
Sometimes they can, or they don't want to, or they're not interested.
Correct, but we need to raise our voice. Why Exactly, I was business owner for 20 years, but right now I do investment. I put my money in local estate house. I put my money there and I see.
Yeah, I gotta be watching them.
Of course.
What kind of business did you do for 20 years?
Exactly, a restaurant.
Oh,
It was about the pandemic.
yeah. What kind of food?
Because the pandemic, I tried to be close to you. Because of the pandemic, my father so I have time, so I decided to close for restaurant. But finally, I give up.
One business is a lot. Four is another.
Was two in Georgia, two in Boston.
What kind of food was it?
Really?
Literally. Did you work with your wife? Yeah, I think I remember you now. Right there on this West Connect.
Right.
That was a good restaurant. I ate there a few times.
Yes, I finally closed.
I mean, everybody chose up.
Exactly. I have been on that. He said,
Yeah, after this, I'm gonna finish up going to another place. And Switzerland.
oh yeah.
So, there's so many things that you can only do so much. That's another thing you have to be careful because the stress get you. For businesses, you know. So I was my friend were operating a business too. And you know, you're operating, managing it. It's a lot of so you gotta be careful. You need rest. And it gets
All right, good evening, good evening. Everyone, please take their seats. I'd like to see the fellowship. Everybody happy to see one another. That's awesome. Good evening. I'm David Jones. I'm Chief of Staff for the Sheriff's Office, and I would like to welcome you to the Cobb County Sheriff's Office Community Briefing of 2024. This is our first briefing of 2024, and this evening we're going to do a recap of everything that happened in 2023. I joined the Sheriff's Office just 11 months ago. Time really flies. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of innovation and advancement that has taken place, and you all will get information based on those changes. So get ready to hear what has taken place. Before I begin, please silence your cell phones. At this time, please stand for the presentation of colors led by the Sheriff's Office Color Guards, the reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance led by the Sheriff's Office Hispanic Liaison Carlos Garcia, and then followed by the opening prayer led by Chaplain Albert Lindsay. All right. Color Guard.
Please join me to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. God, we love you, we honor you. We thank you for the Cobb Sheriff's Office, our leader, our executive staff, and all officers, staff, and personnel that make up this Sheriff's Office. We thank you for truth, but more importantly, we thank you for transparency. Bless us tonight, and we thank you that your grace is sufficient. Amen.
You may be seated. Thank you for joining us this evening. I would like to extend a special thank you to the Cobb County Civic Center and the Jenny T. Anderson Theater team just for allowing us to utilize the Civic Center this evening. It would also be live streamed for those who cannot attend. At this time, I would like to recognize our elected and appointed officials in the room. Would you just please stand if you are an elected official or an appointed official? All right. I would also like to recognize our law enforcement partners in attendance as well. If you are representing another law enforcement agency, would you please stand? all for attending. You may be seated. You will notice on the screen in just a second a QR code. It will display our program for this event. You can take out your phones, you can scan it, click on the button, and it'll pop right up, and you'll be able to follow along with us on the agenda. On today's agenda, you will hear from our sheriff, you will hear from our chiefs, as well as our commanders. Following our commanders, we have a special Cobb Campus Connection Forum, and this will involve our students from Kennesaw State University, covering a meaningful dialogue around the community and how we can foster a relationship between the next generation and law enforcement. So, at this time, we'll move on with the program, and I would like to invite our leader. You all put your hands together for a round of applause for our leader, the Sheriff of Cobb County, Craig D. Owens.
Good evening, everyone. So it's hard to come behind the chief of staff, man. He's like 6'3", I'm very big. So I'm on my tiptoes trying to read the mic, so bear with me for a second. We want to start tonight and tell you some things that we've done over the last year and some things we're going to do in the future, which I'm pretty sure you found interesting what we've been doing. So the first thing about this last year is about us being committed to safety. You know, our primary job here in Cobb County is to keep everyone in Cobb County safe. That's our priority. Priority number one is keeping everyone in the county safe. And we're working extremely hard to do that. And we will never stop doing that, because it is always our priority, is keeping the citizens of this county safe. Next slide. One of the things we want to talk about, I think one of our proudest things we've done in the last 3.5 years, we have been able to achieve the triple crime rate, which is phenomenal. We achieved this within 2 years, actually, 2.5 years of service. Got it in record time. And it's because of the men and women you see here to my right, to your left, the hard work of them and our employees to achieve the accreditation. We're one of 5 in the state and one of 100 across the nation that has this. Thanks, I got short. To have this accreditation. Is that better? Yeah. Sorry about that. You know, they have the 6'8" guy on the podcast. But we're one of 5 in the state of Georgia that have achieved this accreditation, which is a phenomenal act based on, you have 159 sheriffs in the state of Georgia. So you'll hear a lot more about that later from our jail commanders in their presentation. And we was also received honor at the state capitol this year from Senator Albers regarding us receiving this presentation. And it should be that's in the pictures there you see them on the slideshow. So we're going to talk about some technology very briefly that we've been putting into our facility this year, which I think is really for our inmates' health and wellness, which is a great thing to do. And we have to do that. And we always want to spend money to make sure we're taking care of our inmates and our employees, which I think is important, as well as our citizens of Cobb County. But the device we're going to talk about tonight is very briefly this new technology put in our facility. We want you in the state to have it, and I think it's phenomenal what it's going to be able to allow us to do. And if you don't know anything about the Cobb Sheriff's Office, we believe in technology and innovation, and that's something we strive on. I think it helps us do our job easier and smarter by working through technology, and also helps our detainees and staff be more successful inside our facility. So we now have sensors placed in all our padded cells in our facility, which gives us immediate access to the vital signs of these detainees that's inside those cells. Please take a look at this video as it explains how this sensor system works when we install in our facility.
Reassurance Solutions introduces groundbreaking technology designed to heighten your existing medical monitoring protocols. FDA cleared, radar-based, and HIPAA compliant, the XK sensor detects an incarcerated person's resting state and monitors their heart and respiratory rates. The device is fireproof, waterproof, and shatter-resistant. The device can be installed on the ceiling or on the wall in a single-person cell. This technology does not require the individual to wear any monitoring device. There are 3 levels of detection. The device detects the person in a resting state, the person's heart rate, and the respiratory rate. The installation package includes sensor and gateway devices. Each single-person room would include a sensor. Up to 4 sensors are connected to a single gateway device. Gateway devices can be placed in maintenance rooms or in a closet. Staff can easily monitor this continuous data in a control room. The screen identifies whether the incarcerated person is at rest, the heart rate, and the respiratory rate, changing the colors for a visual notification as well as an audible notification. Alerts can be configured differently by sensor. For example, if a given person has a lower than normal heart rate, you can configure the alert for that room to be different than others. Assist your staff with quicker response capability to crucial health events with this innovative and non-invasive monitoring technology. Reassurance.
And that's just one of several things we're doing improvements in our facility. Again, you know, the main thing was happening across the United States, not only in Georgia, but across the United States, that a lot of mental health care installations have closed. And unfortunately, your local jails and detention centers are receiving those individuals that nowhere else for them to go. And we've been tasked with taking care of them, which is not what nowhere near what we should be doing. But we do it the best we can, the ability to make sure we take care of the individuals and keep them as safe as we possibly can in our facility. This one way we can tool here is all to help monitor those individuals and make sure we keep it up with them, their health statewide inside the facility. Our next slide, we're going to talk a little about gun violence and prevention. As you see on the slides, you know, we're part of the White House Committee on Gun and Gang Violence. I was selected as one of the sheriffs to sit on the committee from the White House. A great committee to sit on with several leaders across the United States. And we're being tasked to find ways how we can prevent, hopefully eliminate gang and gun violence in schools and across the United States as a whole. And we are committed to doing that here at Cobb County Sheriff's Office. We work hard in our school systems and our community just to do that, to prevent gun and gang violence. On the federal level, the sheriff, again, I mentioned I'm part of the federal task force on gun and gang violence. And it's called, the official name is the White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention Program. On the regional level, myself along with several other sheriffs in the state from Gwinnett County, Fulton County, DeKalb County, in order to prevent these things and try to enhance some activities in our youth, we started a youth program in all of the counties from our Sheriff Foundation. And what that is an athletic program that we put together. It's a football program. And we have competition, actually. It's a competition football game where Cobb plays Gwinnett or DeKalb or Fulton football games. I use such exposure, but it gives them another outlet to do, you know, involved in some activity can keep them out of trouble. So we do that collectively for the Metro Atlanta area. And also, not only football, we also sponsor basketball at our local high school to keep those young men and women progressing in the right direction as they get ready to leave, hopefully high school and go into their college years. So we figured that the best ways we can attack some of these youth violence and gun violence is hit them at the middle schools and then progress into high schools is what we really focus on here at the Sheriff's Office. In county-wide, we work with our local agencies, also for gun violence and prevention. Now, the Sheriff's Office, under the Sheriff's Office comes our narcotics unit for the county, but we also work with great collaboration with our local PDs and city police departments as well here in Cobb. And we have really great working relationships with all of our other agencies here in Cobb County. Next slide. Last month, we also had opportunity to meet Dr. Cooper. He's the director of the White House Drug Policy. You know, we had opportunity to sit down with my staff and talk to them about the challenges we're having in the Cobb County Detention Center. Folks coming in with drug addictions, including meth and opioid problems. We also talk about our mental health challenges we have in our facility as well. And the connection between of common people having access to mental health care resources and even healthcare resources and preventing them to use drugs and overdose in the first place. We know there are not enough resources out there and funding available, but we had to talk to someone else, hopefully at a higher level, who may be able to assist us in that. So as we spoke to Dr. Cooper, we told him it's going to be all hands on deck to fight this mental health care issue we have. Not only does it affect Cobb County, but it affects everyone in the state of Georgia. Not only is this local, regional, or federal, everybody's affected by it. So we thought about talking to our federal officials. They can support us and come up with solutions for this issue, which is mental health. And I told the doctors, we cannot afford it here locally. We need federal help because you closed down all the mental health care hospitals. So help us, help these people to get the help they need, they so richly need and deserve. And he was agreeing to it, and we had a great conversation. And I think we'll be going back with Hope talking again and seeking federal funding for just that, for some mental health care solutions in the facility, not only in Cobb County, but hopefully across the whole state of Georgia. Next slide. Countywide radio upgrades. I had an opportunity this past year. How can I help everyone in the county? As a sheriff, as a head law enforcement official, I think it's my responsibility to work close with each city and county law enforcement agency in this county to make sure we are all on the same sheet of music and we work collectively together. And I honestly think we do that very well here in Cobb County. And so I had an opportunity in the trip to Washington to talk with our senator and explain to him that we had a new upgrade for our county system. And it was going to cost close to $300,000, and we would love to have support to get that paid. And Senator Alsop said, you know what, let's look into it and see what we can do. And lo and behold, guess what? He found a way to finance that for the county. And that allows us to have a new upgraded radio system, which should come out at the end of 2024-25. That way we have our integrated system between all the city and the counties and the school system, allow us to talk inside the schools much more freely and equally because we have the same collaborated radio system now. So it should be great for us in the county. And especially if we have any emergency situations in our schools, we all are prepared now to respond collectively together on the same channels so we can talk from the beginning to the end of a situation. And I'm also excited because we're going to go back and ask for more money. Next slide. You hear about this later from our criminal investigation division. But one of the biggest issues we are dealing with in Cobb as of late is our residents being scammed. Being scammed out of their hard-earned money. They are reaching out to our senior population and calling and telling them some frightful things. Their family members have been hurt, they've been locked up, you miss court, pay me money now, or this is going to happen to you. And it's running rampant. So we're trying to put a message out how we can stop this now. Investigative unit is working extremely hard to try to find these individuals. And we will. But just so you know, they even called me and tried to scam me. So when I started asking some direct questions, I said, well, who's the sheriff? And they said, I don't know. So you work for the sheriff, so I don't know who he is? And they hung the phone. So you have to be careful about those things. We do understand that these cases have cost some people their entire life savings. So this is how important this is to us and taking care of our senior community in Cobb County. We have to find a way to end this and find out who's at the back end of these scams and try to put a stop to them. So take a look at this video that we created. We're trying to put out a PSA about these scams. Hello, I'm Sheriff Greg Lawrence. No one from the Cobb County Sheriff's Office will ever call you asking for payment over the telephone. If you receive such a call, please hang up and call the Cobb County Sheriff's Office directly. So for the last portion of my presentation, I would like to take some time to talk about the people who are part of this amazing team that we call the Cobb County Sheriff's Office. There is a saying, I should say, if you want to go fast, you can go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's what we do here at Cobb County Sheriff's Office. We go together. We're one team and we're one fight here. And that's how we become or becoming one of the best sheriff's offices in the state of Georgia. So So a lot of folks in the past had to take personal time to go to school. We've changed it. Our deputies now get regular leave time to go to school, and we encourage our deputies to get a higher education, get degrees. And we highly encourage that. We actually pay for it, for them to go to school as well, up in our tuition assistance program that the county offers. We took part in the 30 by 30 program to recruit and retain our top women leaders in law enforcement. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we do have some phenomenal women at the Cobb County Sheriff's Office. Phenomenal. They do some outstanding work for us. Yeah, give them a clap. Cobb County Sheriff's Office, let me speak these on the women for a few seconds. We have, when I say this word, please understand how I'm saying it, diversity, but I mean not by race, I'm talking about gender. We have one of the most diverse command staffs in the metro Atlanta area of the United States of Georgia, with men and women, diverse, which I think is phenomenal, and it's part of our 30 and 30th initiative as well. But I also want to give a big shout out today, and she doesn't know how to do this, to Assistant Chief Gina Hawkins. Last week, she was just sworn in as National President of the National Association of Women in Law Enforcement Executives. We've also been working with our county HR, the Director of Public Safety, to make sure there is pay parity across the board. And not only with our sworn personnel, but with our civilians as well. And I think we've been doing a great job in doing that and getting increases for our deputies and civilians as well. There's a lot of work to be done, I can tell you that, but we're not going to stop. We're going to continue to fight and do what's right by our employees. That's how you retain them. That's how you retain them, by paying them the best you can and giving them a good working environment. That's what we try to do in the Sheriff's Office. And lastly, you hear about our wellness room that's not jail. You probably saw one of the news articles about it in the news story. We created a wellness room inside our facility. You know, the person at the jail works 12-hour shifts, concrete floors, all day walking, a lot of stuff inside the facility. Those men and women see some things that people probably should never see in their lifetime. So what do they do to have them decompress? How do we try to reset them, reset that clock, get them back right so they get back in, for a lack of a term, get them back into the fight to work. So we created a relaxation room there, so if they see something that's traumatic or go through a traumatic experience or something that's going on with them that day, they need to sit down and reset the clock. We created that in our facility for our deputies. So, and they talk about the labor. I think it's something I'm very proud of as well, to give them an opportunity to reset, get their mind back right so they come back in and do a great job for us if they do. Also, next slide. I want to thank our interns. Now, this is something that is phenomenal. Now, I'm going to talk about the first one, and I'm going to go to the college students last. I am so happy that we won the first round to have some high school interns. So I'm building my bench early. I'm trying to recruit them early to come work in law enforcement. But we had a great party this year in Osborne High School. And you see, what are our high school interns? Stand up. Continue standing, because we got something for you that you probably didn't know was going to happen tonight. So we have some very important people here who is going to come up and issue you some certificates and some other things maybe. Come on up, ladies. Now, I apologize up front because I did not write their names down. So I'm going to have to let them introduce themselves to you all before they give these certificates to these youngsters here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Angela Sparks, and we're with the Great Promise Partnership. And I just want to thank these folks for taking a risk, if you want to call it that, and being welcoming to our youth and helping them see the awesome career pathways that are in law enforcement. So it's been a really great adventure. Thank you so much.
My name is Brianna Phillips. I'm the Metro Atlanta Coordinator for the Great Promise Partnership. And we have some certificates for the students if they would come down and come on stage for us. And we also have a graduation ribbon, because 2 of them are high school seniors. Kevin Elizalde. Jamie Diaz. Ashara Holloman. Thank you for partnering with Great Promise Partnership. Let's give these young individuals a hand.
And also, we have our college interns here. We have 4 of them. I think some of them are here tonight, right? Is that right? Isn't any of our college interns here tonight? See, that's what happens when you get in college. You don't show up. I got you. But we do have 4 college interns in San Diego. And lastly, next slide. I want to take a brief moment to congratulate our 24 graduates from our first ever Cobb County Citizens Academy. Is there any our graduates in the house tonight? Right. Congratulations to you all. And during that time frame, they were able to learn exactly what the sheriff's office does. They went through all our divisions, they saw our equipment, they went through the jail. I like to say it opened their eyes what the sheriff's office does. And so we got some great comments about the program. We're going to improve on it, make it bigger. They want it to be longer. We'll see how we can make it longer or not. So we'll see if we can increase the time frame next time for them. But thank y'all for participating in that program and making it a success for us. And lastly, yes, everyone applause. So last I'll ask Chief Anderson and Chief Hawkins to come to the stage. And Chief Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is it's another special thing for me. I have the opportunity to, for lack of a better term, say goodbye to a good friend who is retiring, or who has retired. And we have the opportunity to give her one last accolade before she gets to do it. And she put almost 30 years of service in her, not over 30, she's been here a long time. I can't remember, she's been longer than me probably. But yeah, I'm just so happy and honored today to do this evening for her. And I'm talking about no other than Lieutenant Colonel Becky Westenberger, retired. As y'all know, most of the people who know her as Becky, some people know her as a great community leader, but I just know her as a very hard-working colonel who gave her everything to the sheriff's office while she was there. And I think, you know, it should be very hard to replace. But she had an offer she could not refuse. So with that being said, I'm gonna turn it over to Chief Anderson and Chief Hawkins for a few last parting gifts for one of our great colonels.
Doesn't she look beautiful? Colonel Westenberger was with us for 27 years. And while she was here, she did a fantastic job. We're gonna miss her, but she's going on to Biggerton. I'm not gonna say better. So, she has joined the staff at Wellstar, Cobb, over security. So, we're gonna miss you, Becky, but, you're just down the street, we'll see you. Congratulations on your retirement, and we have a couple of things for you.
Well, I get a chance to tell y'all what it is because you can't see it. She's over there now, so we were able to get her as her retirement gift a customized share frame. Turn that way so they can't see it. They may see the glare, right?
And this next gift is because you'll always be a part of the team. It's a glass baseball that says "One team, one fight, one community" from Sheriff Owens.
I have a time limit of 3 minutes, so. First of all, I want to say thank you to God for taking care of me and giving me so many bountiful blessings. 27 years of just nothing but bountiful blessings. Doors have been opened for me, opportunities have been given to me, and I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to the former sheriffs. I'm grateful to Sheriff Owens, Chief Anderson, Chief Hawkins, Assistant Chief Chief of Staff Jones. And, you know, it's been phenomenal. There's been a lot of ups and downs, but through it all, I've had and established the most incredible friendships. And that is with these individuals here, individuals all over this auditorium that just near and dear to my heart, that these friendships will never cease and they will never stop. And so I'm excited of the things that I've done and accomplished. You know, I was part of the accreditation team as far as getting the, he says triple crown, I say quadruple crown rating. And I know that has been a goal of the Sheriff's Office for many, many years, and it just was never achieved. And so I'm so thankful for that opportunity. I'm thankful for my brother and sister-in-law who've always been there and supporting friends of mine that came in from Rome, the Davenports, and it's just phenomenal to see the response that I've been given in the past few weeks, and I'm so very, very touched and grateful. And as they said, this is just the next chapter. And everything that I've experienced, my 27 years has just groomed me for the next chapter. So I'm very grateful. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just 4 miles up the road. So, but I'm thankful, and I'm thankful to you all, and I wish you all the best. And if you need me, I am here for you. Thank you.
So maybe remember something I forgot too. It's hard to stand up here and talk about the agency sometimes when you do so much. When she said quadruple crown, and that made me think I didn't tell you. I always talk about the triple crown. We went a little step further. We're one of 2 agencies in the state of Georgia and one of 10 across the United States that have received and achieved our mental health care accreditation. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal. So thank you for reminding me of that. And let me tell you this as well. We want to take this agency from being a good agency to make it a great agency. And I think we're on our way to doing that if we haven't already gotten there. And this is one of the best sheriff's offices in the state of Georgia, without a doubt. They call us to ask us how to do things. They want to come visit our facility and see how we're running our programs. We have a parenting program that the sheriff has been recognized statewide, has been on several local TV shows about how our parenting program is working well. Not only that, but our new GED program is struck very good. We already got like 5 graduates
So our work source program, where we provide inmates with work source ability to get a job, they get out, a good paying job, a union job between $35 and $50 an hour, and be a union worker. Those are things that we're doing in your sheriff's office to try to keep our individuals not coming back to see me again. So we're working very hard to improve their education level, to provide them a solid workforce when they get out. And let me tell you this one, hush, I'm on time too. You tell me how many other sheriffs have a work source program where we're able to give at least 1 or 2 individuals every time they graduate this program a vehicle. Make sure they got insurance for a year, and make sure the driver's license is valid. That's all part of that work source program we do with our local unions. That's how you rebuild our community. That's how you get those individuals' trust back to come back and be positive people in our community versus negative. We're doing it at our sheriff's office. We're making people's lives better than how they came in. They leave it better when they walk out the door. So in closing, next slide. I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. What you see here is what I believe with. Not only that, what I just talked about our taking care of our inmates and our detainees, we do a lot of stuff in the community. As you can hear later on our community engagement and our folks talk, we gave out over 1,000 food boxes with turkeys this year during the holidays. We gave out over 2,000 toys for kids for Christmas with a Santa on Wheels drive. We are doing some great things in the community. And that's how you build that community trust. That's how you rebuild the trust that might have been lost. By having open lines of communication, by talking to our community and listening to what they have to say, and then putting our words into action that we hear you. So that being said, thank y'all so very much. And I'm turning it back over to the Chief of Staff, David Jones.
Y'all can do better than that. Give it up for our sheriff. Awesome things. We could not do that. If you've been around our sheriff and you all know his leadership style, we were able to do this because he wanted it done yesterday. And we know to get it done. I now get the opportunity to bring up our chief deputy and our assistant chief. I always like to look, okay, our sheriff, he wanted it done yesterday. Our chief deputy, she's gonna make sure we follow all the policies and procedures. And then we go to Chief Hawkins and she's gonna help us get it done, execution. So with that, I would like to invite, give her a round of applause as she comes to the stage, our chief deputy, Rhonda Anderson.
Thank you all. My name is Chief Deputy Rhonda Anderson, and I'd like to thank each of you for coming out this evening. I'm not going to be up there as long as the sheriff. Mine is short and sweet. We have a total of 5 divisions that make up the sheriff's office. Our support services division, the adult detention center, the criminal investigations division, our uniform field operations, and our special operations. I oversee the adult detention center, which is a monstrosity. I'm going to introduce 2 of my colonels that run that detention center facility. Up will be Colonel Michael A. Williams. He's my division commander. And Lieutenant Colonel David Hillsman, he's assistant division commander. And after those 2 gentlemen say their speech, their little spiel, I'm going to have Chief Hawkins up to introduce the other divisions in our department.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Colonel Michael A. Williams. I'm the Detention Division Commander, and I'm accompanied by the Assistant Division Commander, Lieutenant Colonel David Hillsman. In a recap of 2023, I want to start with what I consider crowning achievement, Sheriff has already went over. As a matter of fact, everybody's taking all of my stuff. Our crowning achievement, which was to have earned our Triple Crown rating by satisfactorily attaining accreditation from the American Correctional Association, National Commission on Correctional Health Care, and the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies, Incorporated. The Triple Crown rating is an accomplishment obtained by few. We have taken our achievement to another level by also obtaining the 4th accreditation from the NCCHC for mental health. We are one of only 2 agencies in the state to have earned this accreditation. Along with the fine men and women that serve on the front line at the Cobb County Adult Detention Center, these accreditations are key to improving processes and efficiencies that keep us on course to being the best sheriff's office in the state of Georgia. During FY23, we continue the Sheriff's Realign Restart program, which is a partnership between the Cobb County Sheriff's Office, Cobb WorkSource, Construction Ready, Building Trades, Cobb County School District, Chattahoochee Technical College, and the Technical College System of Georgia. Collectively, we are working to ensure once a detainee is released, they are in a more advantageous position to obtain adequate employment to legally support themselves and their families. The programs consisted of Parenting 101 and 102, anger management, welding, and GED classes for the detainees. The detention division is the largest division in the Sheriff's Office, made up of 395 employees, of which 272 are sworn. These employees make up 4 12-hour shifts as well as support services. We are currently housing 2,052 detainees in our custody and care. As you can see, we have a few slides outlining some of the medical. We had 8,330 detainees that received prescription medications, mid-level providers, 25,221, and infirmary visits as detainees going from the pods to the infirmary on a daily basis, 2,937. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to my esteemed colleague, Lieutenant Colonel David Hilsman, to talk about a couple of other processes.
Good evening. All right, within the detention facility, we have a 48-member team, which is a critical response team, also known as CERT. And it's led by Lieutenant Lachelle Wilson. Many of you know him as 6'9", because he's actually 6'9". And assisted by Sergeant Jeremy Gibson. This 48-member team is divided into 10 deputies and 2 sergeants assigned to each of the 4 shifts within the detention facility. The purpose of the team is to perform dormitory and cell searches, respond to jail emergencies such as fights, officers need assistance, and assist with any medical emergencies. The members of this team complete an advanced training course that covers the following topics: less lethal weapons, riot control, cell extractions, cell searches, and defensive tactics. Also within the facility, we added, Sheriff Owens spoke about, is a new medical monitoring device. This is new technology, and I think we are one of the very first jails to have this within the facility. It is placed in the ceiling of our cells, our padded cells, where an inmate is not able to tamper with it, and is able to monitor movement, heart rate, and respiratory rate. The medical staff has access to this dashboard, which alerts them in real time to any changes in any of those alerts. This allows us to monitor these individuals without actually placing a device on the individual, where we don't have to worry about them taking it off or tampering with it. It alerts anytime there is an issue.
That's this concludes the detention division portion of the briefing, and I will turn it over at this time to the Assistant Chief, Gina B. Hawkins.
Good evening. So it's been an amazing night. One, not only to see everyone here in the audience, but just to celebrate the youth, to listen, await for what's coming up. And I'm here to introduce the rest of the team that exists in our motto of one team, one fight, one community. But the sheriff has given me this little bit of honor just to remind of what we do. You hear about a lot of the focus, a lot about the intentional efforts that we get being involved with our community. The intentional efforts from recruiting and that we're here and doing what we do. And it's been a rough month when we think about it. Yesterday in Charlotte, there were 4 officers that lost their lives. Last couple weeks, we had Texas and Tennessee. So when we say one team, one fight, one community, and we're here sharing with the community what we're doing, we take what we do seriously. So thank you, Sheriff, for allowing me to remind our community and remind us of what we do every single day is for our community to keep each other safe. We're going into Police Week coming up next week. May 9th at 7:30, we'll have our own law enforcement vigil on the square at 7:30. The week after that is National Police Week. So we would ask our community to join in remembering what we do when we go out and protect you and ourselves. We take it seriously, but we absolutely love what we do. This is why we share this. So thank you, Sheriff, for allowing me to share that. And I'm normally tough, but this is one of my nervous times because I take this very seriously, what we do. So now I get to share about the rest of the team. First coming up is going to be Colonel Gallman, who's going to share with you on the administration side, and Lieutenant Colonel Morris. After that, they will introduce Colonel Yeager, Lieutenant Colonel Peralta, which is CID. After that will come up, make sure I stay on track. Field operations, thank you very much, and then special operations. They will introduce them afterwards. So thank you very much, and it's great to see everyone feeling proud.
First, let me say thank you, Chief Hawkins, for our heartfelt tonight. Good evening. I am Colonel Cobb, Divisional Commander for Support Services. On the stage with me this evening is Lieutenant Colonel Morris, Assistant Division Commander. We handle the business aspect, purchasing everything for the Sheriff's Office. Support Services are made up of the following units: bonding, human resources, fingerprinting, budgeting, property, and open records. We have about 47 employees, mostly of civilian. We may be one of the smallest divisions, but we're the heart and soul of the Sheriff's Office. And we touch every division in the Sheriff's Office. This evening, we'll be briefing you on the 2023 year-end update.
Good evening. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Dwight Morris. We have some units. I just want to give you some highlights of some of the units and some of the statistics that we do. One of our units is a bonding unit, and the bonds executed last year were close to 10,000, as you can see on the slide. And bond forfeitures is 610. And what goes along with, a lot of paperwork goes between us and the courthouse, and there's over 40,580 pieces of paper that were sorted and processed. Another thing we do is the fingerprints. Everybody knows it's in the basement at the Sheriff's Office.
Get your firearms permit, we did 6,318. Sex offenders gets their fingerprints done there, there's 399. And the biggest thing is the background check, especially. It's 3,436, that's a lot of background checks. This is the big one, this is the one that people kind of misunderstand. The sheriff runs on truth and transparency, so everybody uses open records. That's the way to get government records. Last year, we processed 4,770, and the number keeps increasing year after year. And that goes over some of the totals that we've done in our unit. And next will be Colonel Yeager.
Good evening. I'm Lieutenant Colonel, I'm sorry, wow, just a moment. Colonel Eric Yeager, I am the Division Commander over Criminal Investigations, and this is Lieutenant Colonel Art Peralta, he's my second in command. So tonight I'm going to discuss a few things that we do in CID. Our Criminal Investigation Division consists of several units. We have the Fraud Forgery Unit, our Fugitive Unit, MCS, which is our narcotics unit for the county, Domestic Violence, Sex Offender, evidence, crime scene, and then our federal task force officers are all assigned to this division. Each unit has people assigned that have become experts through training and experience. Many of the personnel assigned to this division have served in other units throughout the sheriff's office. I'm going to touch base on the Marietta, Cobb, Smyrna Narcotics Task Force first. They have been in existence since 1980. This group of dedicated law enforcement officers consists of representatives from every law enforcement agency here in Cobb County, and this is the first time with the leadership of Sheriff Owens that this has ever occurred. The Narcotics Task Force focuses on drug traffickers in our area and those individuals who would bring narcotics into Cobb County. Key statistics are now on the screen. One of the main contributing factors to the type and number of illicit narcotics we see in Cobb County is our proximity to the major highways such as Interstate 75, 85, and 20. The Atlanta metropolitan area is at the crossroads, and our task force personnel work diligently long hours to identify narcotics traffickers and remove their products from our streets. One of the most dangerous drugs out there right now in Georgia and across the nation is fentanyl. I'm sure you all heard it on the news and the media. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that is highly addictive and powerful, and it's also cheap for the manufacturers. The Georgia Department of Public Health has stated that from 2019 to 2021, fentanyl-related deaths in the state of Georgia have increased 124%. According to the DEA, Drug Enforcement Administration, as little as 2 milligrams of fentanyl, which is about the size of the tip of a pencil, can be fatal. One frightening fact, 1 kilogram of fentanyl has the potential to kill 500,000 people, according to the DEA. Our narcotics unit, the federal task force officer operating out of that unit, seized 1 kilo of fentanyl. So, Lieutenant Art Peralta will now discuss the remaining units in our division.
Thank you, Colonel Yeager. Fraud and forgery crimes continue to be a concern for us here in Cobb County. As you can see by some of the statistics that are on the screen right now, the number of cases that we received are very, very high. While our primary goal continues to be criminal investigation, this past year we have focused on educating our community members about persistent fraud scams, and you saw some of that earlier when Sheriff Owens was speaking. Our population of seniors, those who are over the age of 65, is the fastest growing demographic in Cobb County. Our elder population is particularly vulnerable to fraud and other types of exploitation. So our ability to talk with and educate our community members is very important. The Cobb County Sheriff's Office Fugitive Apprehension Unit continues to focus on serving warrants related to murder, rape, armed robbery, aggravated assault or aggravated battery, kidnapping, child molestation, or cruelty to children. Statistics remain steady compared to our statistics from last year, and we are on track to exceed our current numbers in all areas. Now, we receive a steady flow of questions regarding registered sex offenders in Cobb County.
And the best way to check for possible registered sex offenders in your particular neighborhood is by using the Cobb County Sheriff's app. You can go to the App Store and search for the Cobb County Sheriff, and the app will pop up. Here on the screen, you can see several different screenshots of what you can look for on that Sheriff's app, and there's addresses that you can put in particular streets to see if there's any registered sex offenders in your area. You can also use your web browser to go to the Cobb County Sheriff's Office page or the Georgia Bureau of Investigation webpage to conduct a similar search. The Domestic Violence Unit continues to work serving temporary protective orders and domestic violence warrants across Cobb County. Additionally, this unit is responsible for enforcing domestic violence-related evictions. In conclusion, the criminal investigators and the Criminal Investigations Unit of Cobb County Sheriff's Office continues working to identify, arrest, and ensure prosecution of those individuals responsible for criminal activity in and around Cobb County. We will also do everything we can to keep our community members informed and educated about the emerging threats through the news media, in-person education, and the CCSO website and app.
Folks, next, we will hear from Colonel Bailey and Lieutenant Colonel Williams from Fort Worth.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Colonel Brian Bailey, and I'm the Division Commander for Uniform Field Operations. And with me this evening, I have Lieutenant Colonel Michael L. Williams, who's the Assistant Division Commander. So in Uniform Field Operations, two of our largest sections are obviously Uniform Field Operations, which are the road cars that you see on the road, the uniform vehicles, and then also Court Security. Court Security is our largest. Court security is one of our largest areas in field operations. It consists of 7 buildings all over the judicial complex. We have 5 checkpoints at each of those buildings. One of those checkpoints stays open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that's at the West Atrium. The purpose of that is so that people and officers can access the magistrate's office for warrants and to see judges. Inside that complex, there are 39 courtrooms. Each one of those courtrooms must be staffed by a deputy if there is a judge in the courtroom. Of those, there are 57 judges. Just to give you an idea of the amount of people that we screen, the deputies screen through court security out of those 7 buildings and those 5 checkpoints, in 2023, they screened 592,181 individuals. Now, those are people coming into the courthouse that are there for business. It could be officers and also employees. But that's an extremely large amount of people that get screened each and every year. The purpose for that is because we have the potential for weapons to be brought into the facility, and it's for the safety of everyone inside the building. Next slide, please. In order to enhance the security that we have inside of those 7 buildings, we were able to purchase 2 state-of-the-art X-ray machines. So the one on the left-hand side is 640. It's a smaller version, and it's you can see it if you went to our state court building. It offers a dual view of the property being scanned, and it also contains AI, which can detect explosives. So why is that important? Well, before we had equipment that was still very effective yet outdated. It only supplied one view of the property, and it did not give the deputy manning the machine a good idea of actually what they were looking at. The other one is a 640, which if any of you have been to the airport recently, it is the same technology and the same machines that are used at Hartsfield. It is able to offer a 360-degree view of all the property that comes through the machine. It also contains the detective explosives detection, but it also has a system where if it were to acknowledge a weapon, say a knife or a gun or anything that fit that profile, it would automatically move that item out of the reach of the individual that's coming through, put it into a safe box, and then the deputy would be able to retrieve that piece or that weapon so that no one could be injured with it.
The other portion, as I stated earlier, for uniform field officer is the road, and I will have Lieutenant Colonel Williams speak about that further. Thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to briefly speak about our field operations deputies, our road deputies. We are very proud of them and the work that they do, the workload that they take on each and every day. For the calendar year of 2023, the sheriff's office received 21,151 warrants. And those warrants were from all the courts, Superior, State, Magistrate, and our deputies also handle all other orders that come from the court, such as orders from probate court, committals, civil papers, and the warrants that I spoke about. I also would like to send my condolences, or we would like to send our condolences to the officers, families, and friends that were so tragically killed in Charlotte, North Carolina. The service with warrants is very dangerous, and that's a task that our deputies take on each and every day. And you should know that to say a prayer for everyone that is involved in duties like that. Next slide, please. Also in 2023, our agency received 23,014 civil papers. Those papers were lawsuits, garnishments, subpoenas, corporate services, and evictions, which is also known as dispossessions. I'd like to briefly explain to you the dispossessory process. Next slide, please. The dispossessory process, it starts when the homeowner or property owner goes to the court and files a complaint. And that complaint is usually a breach of contract. It's a breach of the lease agreement between the two parties. And that is usually because of non-payment or because the tenant has remained on the premises past the lease date. The tenant has broken the lease in some other way. Or it could be a foreclosure. The bank is foreclosed and the tenant still remains, but homeowner still remains in the home. The judge will hear the complaint, and at that time, the judge will issue a notice. It is our job to go out and serve this notice. The deputies, they can serve this notice by either personally serving the tenant. They can also leave the paper with a person of legal age that's at the home, or the notice can be tacked on the door. This notice gives the tenant, it advises the tenant that the eviction process has started. And they will have 7 days to answer the notice. They can either fail, not do anything, and not answer it, and the judge will immediately, after 7 days, issue a dispossessory, or they can answer and the court date will be set. It will go before the judge, and the judge will make a decision at that point as to whether the dispossessory will be issued or not. The dispossessory is issued, and a writ of possession will be issued, and we will go out and evict the person from the property. And not only is it the tenant that can be removed, but any and all other persons that are within that dwelling. The tenant can also avoid being evicted if they correct or pay any back rents that are due to the homeowner or property owner. At this time, this is going to end our presentation. At this time, I would like to turn it over to Major White, Special Ops Division, and Captain Logan.
Good evening. for Special Operations. I'm joined by Captain Anthony Mosley, who's the Assistant Commander of our division. Together, we have about half a century of law enforcement experience between the two of us, which just means that we're really old. Special Operations is a unit that was created by the sheriff December of 2023. Special Operations is a conglomerate of 6 units that include our SWAT team, drone unit, our Monitor Patrol, K-9 unit, our Fugitive Apprehension and Support team, which is also known as FAST, and our Motors unit. We'll start off by talking about our SWAT team. Our SWAT team is made up of 26 highly trained and dedicated deputies. Each of our SWAT personnel has achieved a SWAT Level 1 certification through post. SWAT is normally responsible for hostage or barricaded subjects, active shooter situations, criminal and civil disturbances, dignitary protection, i.e., if we have a senator or the president come to town, our SWAT team is usually going to be the guys that are going to take care of protection for them. Next slide is our drone. The drone unit is made up of 6 FAA certified drone pilots. Our drone unit not only supports the sheriff's office, but also our local agencies and also our federal partners as well with their criminal investigations as well. Our drone units are used in a variety of ways. In terms of documenting crime scenes and accident scenes, search and rescue efforts for lost or missing or kidnapped persons or fleeing suspects, monitoring the sheriff's office, detention center, also aiding in hostage situations, and assisting with execution of court-ordered criminal and search warrants. Next slide. Our Monitor Patrol unit is made up of specially trained deputies and mounts. Mounts is just another word for horses. They conduct directed patrols in now more than 80 parks throughout the county and our 6,000 acres of green space. Not only that, but they also patrol our malls. You may see them at Cumberland or Town Center. They're there. They also handle traffic and crowd controls at scheduled events such as Braves playoffs, or if we have New Year's Eve events like we have at the Battery, they're there usually for crowd control. And also involved in community events throughout the year. And how many of you know that we're going to have FIFA games coming to the county? Our Monitor Patrol will be out and about for those as well as some of our KSU football games as well. Our next unit is our K-9 unit, which is made up of 9 teams. A team consists of a handler and we have including explosive detection, drugs, tracking of persons, building and article searches. Some of their functions include specialized patrol functions, assist other local and federal agencies with their investigative needs, weekly sweeps of the jail and judicial complexes for explosives and narcotics, and also security at the Brave Stadium. Now, if you would take a look at the picture at the bottom there, that is about 19.5 kilos of cocaine. That was a partnership effort between our K-9 division and our DEA partners. Has a street value of about $1.5 million. That was an investigative effort that happened back in February of this year. So we're pretty proud of the partnerships that we fostered throughout that unit. And at this time, I will turn it over to Captain Mosley to continue.
Again, good evening. I am Captain Anthony Mosley. I will continue our presentation and talk about our FAST unit. FAST stands for Fugitive Apprehension and Support Team. The team is a multifunctional unit within the Special Operations Division, specializing in high-risk operations.
Their duties include service of high-risk warrants, carrying out high-risk transports. We also assist court security with high-profile cases, targeting high-crime areas within the county, and we also assist our local and federal partners when assistance is requested, while providing support to our divisions within Cobb County Sheriff's Office. Next slide, please. Next, we have our motors unit. Our motors unit are dedicated to handling traffic complaints in areas such as neighborhood roadways within Cobb County. Complaints come in, we usually send our motor units out to issue tickets. The tickets are required. They also assist with some of the dignitary and ceremonial escorts in Cobb County and also outside of Cobb County. Same as with funerals. We assist with funerals in Cobb and outside of Cobb. When time is permitted, the motor units also assist with the service of some of those civil papers that you heard Uniform Field Operations speak up earlier. Before I conclude our briefing on Special Operations Division, I want to make reference to the static display that was out front as you all entered into the event tonight. Out front, we had some of our equipment that we utilize on a daily basis in Special Operations. One of those equipment that we had out was the Bearcat. The Bearcat is utilized by our SWAT team for such things as hostage situations, down officer rescues, or just a rescue of a civilian. It also transports the SWAT team into hostile situations, so it protects the team from any hostile situations that we are called upon to assist with. We also had our SWAT equipment truck out front. Our SWAT equipment truck was a game changer for the SWAT team. As the SWAT commander, you know, we could be out on the scene and I may have to send somebody back to our SWAT office to retrieve a piece of equipment. Now when the team is called out, everything that I would need as a SWAT commander to make the decisions that I would need to make is right there on that truck. So to me, that was a true game changer for the Cobb County Sheriff's Office SWAT team. We also had two motors outside. If you notice, they were under the tent. We had two of our fast Tahoes, and we also had two of our K9 Tahoes out front. And also we had K9 Charlie and K9 Knox posted at the door. If you saw them as you entered. And the mounted unit had 5 out of our 7 horses also present for the event tonight. We had Diesel, Duke, Dusty, Gucci, and Misty. And we also had a representative from our drone unit who had one of our Altair drones, which is also utilized for pre-surveillance. That was also a game changer for us. We are able to go in and take photos and do the pre-surveillance that we need before we even go out and operate in any form or fashion. So that was a game changer. And we also have an interior drone, which is truly an amazing drone to have. You could put that drone inside a structure and get the complete layout of the structure before we even think about sending our deputies or our SWAT team into a hostile situation. And with that, I conclude Special Operations Division's topic. All right, y'all still with us? Give our division commanders an awesome round of applause. That was only a snapshot of what they could include for tonight. It was a recap of 2023, but guess what? If you're interested in learning more, taking more of a deep dive in the Sheriff's Office, you can take part in our next Citizens Academy. It will take place this fall. I would say be on the lookout for the information that we send out. It will have the dates. It'll be this fall. I don't know the exact dates yet, but we'll make sure we can get that information to you if you're interested. But this will give you a behind-the-scenes snapshot, not only what they showed tonight, but just more insight on what they do. All right, as we transition into our Cobb Campus Connection, which will feature our college students who are here. And I just want to give them a round of applause for coming, and you all can make your way onto the stage as we kind of conclude our community briefing. But just as a sidebar to that, if you registered tonight using our Eventbrite, guess what? You got an opportunity to win a prize. You have an opportunity to win a prize. So, Hassan, would you get us ready to spin the wheel? All right, here we go. Oh, Benjamin Williams, are you in the house? Oh, there he is. Come on, we got to go out. Sheriff, if you don't mind taking a photo with our winner. Yeah. All right, as they take a photo, we'll do one more before we go into our panel. Son, would you spin the wheel one more time? Give her a round of applause as she comes down. All right. So as she makes her way, again, thank you all for your presentations, awesome information. And as we prepare for our Cobb Campus Connection, this tonight will be moderated by one of our communication specialists, Randy O'Cray, as well as Deputy Hendia, who is one of our public information officers. So at this time, I will relinquish the podium to our moderators of the panel, Ms. O'Cray and Deputy Hendia. I know there may be some questions from the audience, or you may have some comments, and during their presentation, during their talk, you will get an opportunity to ask questions as well.
Thank you, Chief Jones. Good evening, everyone. Again, I'm Deputy Nidra Handia. I'm one of the public information officers at the Cobb County Sheriff's Office. It's such an honor to be here tonight. Thank you.
And I am Randy O'Cray, Communication and Public Relations Specialist here at the Cobb County Sheriff's Office. And we appreciate you all coming out tonight.
Tonight, we have the pleasure of moderating our Cobb Campus Connect Forum. I want to thank you all for being here this evening and with finals over. I know the students are eagerly waiting for summer break. So a huge thank you again to our panelists for being here as well.
Give a round of applause.
The purpose of the Cobb Campus Connect Forum is to bridge the gap, to provide a two-way communication channel between law enforcement, students, and our community.
Okay, so with that being said, we want to introduce you to our esteemed panelists. So first we have Mr. Zay Brewer. Zay is a fourth-year political science major at KSU, and he will be graduating next month. Let's clap it up for one seniors. Next week, to be very clear, right? All right, so he currently serves as the Student Government Association president and is the president of the KSU American Red Cross. His experience includes a strong background of political and volunteer work, This includes but is not limited to political action chair for KSU's NAACP and KSU Chancellor of Students. After he graduates, he plans to attend law school and start working in government. Round of applause for Mr. Zay. All right, up next, I'm actually going to go to Ms. Desiree here. Desiree running at the end. Desiree is a fourth-year criminal justice major at KSU who's minoring in criminology and will graduate in December of 2024. Desiree is also an intern at KSU's Campus Police Department and is gaining hands-on experience and insight into the workings of law enforcement. She demonstrates commitment to understanding the intricacies of crime and justice systems. After she graduates, she plans on joining local law enforcement to become a police officer. Thank you so much, Desiree. All right, we're gonna flip back up here to Miss Unity. We have Unity Hill. Unity is a fourth-year double major in marketing and entrepreneurship who's minoring in sports marketing. And she also is going to be graduating next week. Unity is involved in a variety of activities at KSU. She's an active member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, very much like our PIO Nidra here. And she serves as the president of the National Panhellenic Council at KSU. After graduation, Unity plans to hopefully work at KSU in one of the open positions on the campus as well. Good luck with that, Unity. Thank you so much. And then lastly, but certainly not least, Miss Olivia Cintola. Olivia also is a fourth-year criminal justice major who's going to be graduating next week as well. Shout out to all of our graduates, right? And she's also an intern at KSU's Campus Police Department. And her passion for criminal law and making a difference is commendable. She has a strong ability to find creative solutions, analyze case documents, and formulate action plans. After graduation, Olivia is going back to school to get her doctorate in forensic psychology. Round of applause for Miss Olivia and the rest of all of our team.
Okay, so let's get started. Zay, in your bio, you mentioned that you've interned for politicians such as Congresswoman Carolyn Burdo, and that you have a passion for public service. What made you want to be a part of our forum here today?
Well, I was invited by the sheriff's office, not to make that set up, so, to tell you the truth, but I really wanted to come here just to engage with our law enforcement officials and also just to be able to foster the relationship and I guess better the understanding between law enforcement and students. Being the now former student government president, I actually wrapped up last week, so throughout my term throughout the last year, I got to learn a lot of things and learn about a lot of students' concerns, given with a lot of current events going on at colleges due to certain events in the world. I think it's very important to be a part of it.
Great answer. Let's move on to you, Desiree. You are already learning the field of criminal justice. Can you tell us what attracted you to be on this panel tonight?
So, as I'm interning, I've done a lot of community policing within my school and then also with the communities around. So I love it. I love learning from other departments, and I have not done an event with the sheriff's office, so I thought it would be interesting.
That's right, we love to hear it. Unity, so your background, which is marketing and entrepreneurship, not necessarily related, what attracted you to be on our Campus Connect forum?
Well, I was also invited as well, and I didn't feel like I needed to pass it up or anything. I feel like as a student who is interacting with a lot of different people on our campus, because I'm not only president of National Panhellenic Council, but I also hold 3 other positions on our campus that I'm very involved. Being around a lot of different people and seeing how they feel about like law enforcement and things like that in their day-to-day, coming here and seeing what you guys are doing for our community is a good way for me to go and spread that to them so that they know that they're protected and y'all are looking out for us. So that's why I want to.
Thank you, Unity. And then lastly, Olivia, so since you're someone who loves finding creative solutions, what do you hope to gain from the Cobb Campus Connect Forum?
I know we have a chance to ask some questions to law enforcement, and I have
some deep questions I need answering, and I feel like this is a great opportunity that I couldn't pass up. And I don't know, I'm excited to learn more about the Cobb Sheriff's Office, as I'm not really well educated on it, so I feel like it's a good opportunity for me.
All right, those were some great answers. Thank you for sharing. Now, I'd like to open the floor for your questions.
I will go first. So, just basic, simple question I could start off with. So what is the main difference between the police department and then the sheriff's office?
That's a good question. And, let's see, I think that Colonel Yates, you would be the perfect person to answer that for us.
Okay, so, a little background. So right now, there are 12 counties in the state of Georgia, or 159 counties, that actually have a police and sheriff's office. The reason for that goes back almost 100 years. So, in Cobb, both agencies are full-service agencies. The slight difference is Cobb County Police Department, their role has become to respond to 911 calls and other law enforcement functions in unincorporated Cobb County. The Sheriff's Department has rules and regulations that we have to follow. So the sheriff is the highest, or is the chief law enforcement officer in the county. He is mandated by state, the Constitution and state law to do specific jobs in the county. And those jobs include running the jail, serving civil papers, executing warrants, and providing security for the courts. And also, as the sheriff and as the sheriff's deputies, he has total jurisdiction throughout Cobb County. And that includes the 7 municipalities, which we frequently go in to assist on calls. If they call for assistance or whatever, the sheriff frequently jumps on top of that. So those are really the main issues.
Thank you.
Did that efficiently answer your question, Desiree?
It did.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Colonel Yeager. Any more questions?
Yes, what kinds of community policing do you guys do?
Okay, so as far as training goes, I would request Major Brown.
Community engagement.
Okay, thank you. So last year in 2023, we undertook 735 community engagement events in the county. We're all over from Kennesaw to South Cobb. Of those 735 events, we believe we had over 50,000 positive contacts in the community. So we are doing Coffee Connections, Juneteenth, Taste of Mapleton, all those type of events. We try to get in to that event to touch the community. That is a task the sheriff gave us from day one, and we have continued to engage the community in that. One of our biggest accomplishments recently was the Citizens Academy. It allowed us to bring 24 individuals from the community in, teach them about the different operations of the organization, and really give them some positive contact as to what to expect when dealing with the sheriff's office. So our engagement is really to bridge a gap between young folks, senior citizens. We do a lot of senior citizens, senior fraud presentations. We actually go to the schools, both elementary, middle, and high school, and engage in teaching classes with the teachers. We do presentations on drugs, bullying, cyber, sexting, that type of stuff. So we are heavily involved. That's the kind of community engagement stuff we have going on.
Thank you for answering that question, Major David.
So my question is, what is this department doing to break apart that tension that you do see in the community?
And I would ask Captain Paget if you could please answer that question for us now.
Good evening. Cobb County Sheriff's Office is committed to ensuring that we listen to the citizens of Cobb County and follow up with their concerns in a timely manner. That may include increasing zone patrols, adding deputies in school zones, providing mental health referrals for those that find themselves in mental health crisis, providing resources for those that have been displaced from their residences, as well as what Major Gaynor mentioned,
we host and we participate in community events so that the citizens of Cobb County are able to interact with us in a personal manner instead of in our professional capacity.
Great answer, Captain. Great answer.
Thank you, Captain Patrick.
Okay.
My question is, how do officers' training requirements and qualifications differ between a police department and the sheriff's office?
Awesome. Okay, so we do have a training question. Thank you. Major one.
Good evening. So, Georgia Post, which stands for Peace Officer Standards and Training, sets all the standards for law enforcement in the training aspect. Initially, basic mandate, which is 408 hours, all officers have to go, or all potential officers have to go through 408 hours of training, which is equal to roughly 10 weeks. January 1st of 2025, that training will double, and it will go to 20 weeks and roughly 800 hours of initial training before you can be certified as an officer. That doesn't matter if you're a police officer or a sheriff's deputy. Everybody goes on the same training requirements. After the initial training, then you have a lot of agency-specific things. The sheriff's office, they will send their officers through basic jail school. Basic jail school teaches the policies and procedures of running the jail administration. They also go through things such as court security, civil processes, and certain warrants. So those are some of the things for the sheriff's office. Police agencies will then, go through agency-specific training as far as patrol techniques, standard field, sobriety training, and things like that. And they also do some other agency-specific things. So initially, we all go through the same training, but then after your initial training, then you branch off and go agency-specific.
Thank you, Major one.
I have two questions. So first, what do you guys do to ensure you're representing the community?
Yes. Thank you, Major Mubal, for taking this question. And congratulations.
Thank you. So as I work in recruiting, so that question would relate to the 5 people we have working in recruiting. We have 3 female recruiters and 2 male recruiters of different demographics. Our agency, we're kind of blessed in Cobb County. We match or exceed diversity match in the county. So that's what you want. You want an agency to represent the demographics of your county so that those interactions are the most positive they can be. So in our agency, we're very blessed, as you can tell. We have diversity in gender and also race in the agency. So the CALIA certification that we spoke of earlier, that also has requirements for us to check and analyze our demographics every year and report to the sheriff where we're at. So that happens every single year in internal affairs so that we can keep an eye on it to make sure we're doing what we should be in that area.
Thank you for answering that, Major Mubal. Do you have any, okay, you have one more question.
I do one more. So I just have a quick question. What do you guys think causes tension between the community and then law enforcement? And then within that, are there ways you guys strategize to help break up that tension?
I think that what causes tension is mostly not being transparent, not listening, not hearing from the diverse community, and also not understanding. I think if we don't listen to each other as a community and try to at least understand each other's perspective while still doing our job and respecting the community, because we're part of the community as well, I think that's success of the division within the community and law enforcement. So I think the tension comes with not knowing what we do or not knowing what you're thinking. So I think that unless someone else wants to add something else, unless you have a different, what do you think that might draw attention between the community and law enforcement?
So I agree with your comment. I do agree. As a college student, I know we raised all different types, we all have our different beliefs, and I do agree, it's just the misunderstanding, I believe, working with, well, interning at the police department, I can see their side of things. As a student, we learn certain things in the book, whether about arresting and things like that. However, when you're actually seeing it and experiencing it, it's a totally different side. And I feel like people don't understand that. They just assume one thing, and since they're not able to witness the good side of it, they have their own views of that.
Good conversation. Did you guys have some other questions you wanted to ask us this evening? Well, I have a question for you guys. So, as college students at KSU, how do you feel that law enforcement can better support you as a student? What can we do to help support you?
I'll start off. I think, coming from the student government side, I think that, I will really just coming in and speaking to the students. I know recently, actually the day after I left as student government president last week, we had, as we've seen in many college campuses across the country, protests in regard to the war going on in the police. And, thankfully at KSU we're always known to have very peaceful and respectful dialogue. But I think that, from what I was hearing, there were students who were, I guess, ready for confrontation if it came to it. And I think that a big part of that is, from what I've seen, based off of fear that they aren't going to be, their voices aren't heard. So, I think that in a way, just more community dialogue, such as events like this, will really be what helps as far as the student body over at KSU and young people in the county and just in general.
Thank you, Dave.
I'm just gonna say that personally, I've seen Cobb County like around a lot and feel a lot more comfortable when they are near and everything, cause like, our Walmarts and our Targets and things like that, sometimes people have had like trafficking moments and things of that nature, and you guys being there has been like a safe haven for a lot of people, when they've been talking to me. I do agree with Zay with like the forum of us having conversation, and even just like having people who are having like leadership, positions on our campus come and talk to you all so that we can help be a bridge to that, because having us say it instead of you guys saying it will make them believe more that it's actually true, like they're actually caring, they're actually trying to better this community. So I feel like bridging that gap involves putting us in the forefront as well.
All right, well, any last words before we round it out? Any last thoughts, last messaging you want to let us know?
May I staff, do you all have any questions for our students?
Great job.
Thank you. Great job. Let's give our panelists a round of applause again. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Thank you again, panelists. And I know they mentioned that they were invited, but I was harassing them. I really was. I had to call each and every one of them. And just looking at your bios, I thought they were very interested in, especially in what you all do and what you all inspired to do. And I know, Zay, being a student government, you put out a post after your term as student government about what you're doing regarding mental health. I know we have a big focus on mental health in our facility, and you advocated, I think it was like $2.4 million for, explain it to them.
It's a bunch of USG politics, but basically, Georgia universities, public universities, were not guaranteed mental health funding after, the CARES money ran out, which was COVID funding that, the president and the federal government gave, to support, schools and states throughout COVID. And so, I worked with Chancellor Perdue and, I worked for State Representative Lisa Campbell. So, work with her and others in USG to successfully get, over the next 2 years, $2.4 million in mental health services at all USG institutions. That'll go to a 24/7 hotline, a psychiatrist on every USG campus to prescribe medication to students. And I believe they will be increasing that to telehealth, which will address a lot of big, long wait times like what we have at KSU, because we exploded in population within the last few years. So just a few things to mediate that. Now, hopefully, of course, I would like to see a long-term solution to that, but it's a great start.
I would encourage all of you to download our app and just keep in touch with what we're doing in the community. And if you have any suggestions, any questions or comments, feel free to always contact us. We're available, any of us.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, so at this point, we are going to conclude our Cobb Campus Connect forum. We're going to turn it back over to our Chief of Staff, David Jones. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. O'Cray and Deputy India. Hopefully you all took away some good information from tonight, from our commanders, on what we're doing within the Sheriff's Office. And then thank you again to our students who graciously came and took part in our panel discussion. So give them another round of applause. I also would like to thank Sergeant Guerrero, who is a sergeant at the Kennesaw State University Campus Police Department. He was instrumental in getting his interns to be a part of the panel. So thank you again. A lot of what you mentioned tonight in terms of what we do in the community, we do it through our community engagement team, but we also have help from our Sheriff's Office Foundation. And our foundation does a lot with the community in terms of what we do with the giving away the turkeys, our Santa on Wheels, even our families who have suffered a loss from one of our officers who may have been injured, or even if there's someone who is in need who works for the Sheriff's Office, we're able to provide that support through our Sheriff's Foundation. And our Executive Director from the Sheriff's Foundation is here, and also another one of our members, Robert Haley and Robbie. I see both of you in the audience. The light is on you, but would you just please stand and be recognized? Oh, and I see Roby Graham here also. Appreciate that, because the light is blinding. All right, with that, I would like to turn it over back to our sheriff for a closing remark.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's been a great evening. First and foremost, thank you all for coming out tonight to listen to what we had to say. But I really want to say thank you all on this panel behind me. Give a round of applause. When we talked to yesterday with staff about this panel, and we all know how hot things is across the United States and our college campuses. And I told them I want to make sure that us and Kennesaw State University have a good relationship. And we have to listen to what our students say. Really listen. And not only listen, but respond to what you have to say in a positive and a timely fashion. So thank y'all for coming out and sharing some experiences with you all, and hopefully answer your questions appropriately. But I really believe that, Kennesaw State is part of Cobb as well, as we're part of one big family. And the Sheriff's Office will be there as well. Kennesaw State University Police, if they need anything, we're always there for you. And I will guarantee you that we will increase our presence to talk to you on campus, so you have a better understanding of what we do, and we can bridge that gap between law enforcement and our college community. So thank you all so very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out this evening. I sincerely appreciate it. To my staff, great job this evening. To all my friends, visitors, my wife is here somewhere, I think maybe. Some gentlemen from I like to say the best attorney in the world was here as well. Thank y'all for coming out. We really appreciate your support. And as we like to leave with everything we do at Cobb Sheriff's Office, we're one team, we're one fight, one community. Good night.
Good night.